Hey, it's Mr. Poor Boy. Welcome back. I've seen a bunch of videos on how people separate out their inserts and how they lay them all out and how they clip them. And I guess I'll just do one too because I've had a couple people ask me how I do them. You know, my regular 4 subscriptions that I get to the Denver Post. So that's kind of how I do it. Like the Red Plum here, which I'm kind of disappointed in this week. It really don't have that good of a coupon selection like they usually do. A lot of advertisements, but not much on coupons. But anyway, what I do is I'll take them out of the page and I'll separate them all out, and then I'll lay them all out each individual page. And then when I get done, then I'll stack them all up, and then then I'll show you that here in a second. But anyway, that's how I kind of do it first. I just take them all, lay them all out, and I tear them apart. So anyway, hold tight, and I'll just see if this will work, and I'll show you how I tear the pages apart and how I cut them. So what I will do usually on the pages to tear them apart, I will look at them and see, and these ones have coupons on both sides. And so what I'll usually do is I'll just take it and start with a little bit of tear on the top when I have these double pages like this, and they usually tear apart really, really easily. So anyway, I'll be real careful that you don't actually tear down the sides. Usually they tear really well, but sometimes they'll take a little trip off. So you kind of got to watch where you're cutting them and make sure that they cut or tear pretty evenly all the way down the page. So let me grab another one here and I'll show you. I start with a little tiny tear at the top of it here. I'll grab the far corners and then just pull it apart, and they usually tear right down the middle real evenly. And then I'll lay those all out in my little piles, and then I'll show you what I do with my piles when I get them done. So I'll show you one more real quick. On this one, has the coupons here on this side. And I'll just take it, start with a little bit of tear up here, just a little bit, and then I'll just lightly pull it apart and just make sure that it tears right down the middle and it lays out that way. So. Okay, I'm going to try to do this with one hand so you can kind of see what I do. But I've already gathered up a few of them. What I'll do is I'll grab each one of the little piles that I've already separated, and then I'll kind of stack them up, not necessarily neat because I'm going to have to redo it anyway. And then I'll set those in my pile as I'm going along. And I'll do that on each one of them, and I'll just set them all out. And that way I have neat little piles that I don't have to sit and fight the whole time I'm doing it. Then I'll just lay them on there, and I'll stagger them one way, one way, one way. Like I say, and then when I get ready to clip them, I just grab one, and I just clip it right across the bottom. And it actually usually works out pretty good that way. So I will show you my clipping here in just a few minutes. Now that I've got my piles all straightened out, my little piles here, I got them all organized the way I like them. Usually I'll just start with the very top one. Grab it, make sure they're all even all the way across. Make sure you tap it on different corners on different sides. You don't want to tap it on where you actually tore it at, because that may not necessarily be a nice even tear. So tap it on at least a couple of corners there. And then take your coupon, hold it nice and firm as you're cutting along, and then go ahead and just cut it right along the bottom. And this is an easy one to start out with. Just like that, and then you got your coupon cut out. And then what I'll usually do is I'll make sure that it's all straight, and I'll trim it up a little bit so it'll actually fit my sleeves a little bit better. Clip along the top, because it has I can actually clip this one down here quite a ways. You want to make sure when you're clipping, you do not cut off where it says manufacturer's coupon, and you do not want to clip off the date of the expiration date, and then also any of the barcode or any of the numbers. So just in case the barcode doesn't scan when you're at the store, then that way they can type in the number and still be able to give you your credit for your coupon. So anyway, I take them and stack them into 3 separate piles. I'll do my health beauty, my HBA, in one pile. I'll do food in another pile, and then medicine in another pile. And then by the time I get all said and done, what I will do is then it'll be easier to organize in my binder when I get ready to put them in my binder. I'll have 3 separate piles. I'll grab the food pile, go through my food section in my binder, and organize them that way. One other quick thing to remember too, when you're clipping your coupons and you're stacking them in the little piles before you actually put them to your binder, is when you're putting them in the pile, try to stagger them in different directions for each one. Some of them are the same size exactly when you cut them all out, like these 3 right here. So what I'll do is I will stagger them like that. I'll take one, put one direction, one put another direction, and then sometimes I'll just take it and do completely off on a different tangent of an area and put it all out, kind of skilly-wampus. That way it's easier to get a hold of and easier to keep them organized, because it's only going to be, in a little pile temporarily. Okay, so after you have your coupons all cut and kind of set out, and I got 3 different piles, I have my medicine there, and I got my food there, and then I have my health and beauty over here. I'm going to start with my health and beauty, and I'll take my binder, and you see I got it all tabbed out with all the different stuff on there, but I'll go to my shaving section. That's the first coupon's on top of my pile, and you know, I'll find me a nice or sleeve that's blank, you know. So I got a few blank ones right here, empty ones. So anyway, I'll take my coupons, make sure I get them all set up just right, and then I'll take, and it's kind of hard with one hand, but anyway, I'll take and put them into my sleeves. And sometimes you have to trim them down a little bit. These should fit. There we go. Get that in there. And I'll do the same thing with these. And like I say, when you kind of crisscross them when you're stacking them in different little piles, it makes them a whole bunch easier to get a hold of them. And then that way, when you actually do go to put them in your binder, you don't have to fight them nearly as hard, and you don't have to sit there and sort them. So anyway, that's how I do it with my coupons and get them all in my binders. Like I say, it's not very easy with one hand. It's usually a two-handed job. So, but anyway, you get them all into your binder, and you guys are ready to go couponing and shop like a crazy coupon guy. So anyway, good luck. And if you got any questions, please feel free to ask me. And like I say, this is a part of my quick tips series on, you know, organizing and clipping your coupons and getting it all set up. So anyway, I got Frank wants to say hi. Hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. Say hi. No? Anyway, so that's how I do mine, and I know a lot of people do them a lot different in a lot of different ways. So anyway, that's just a quick rundown on kind of how I do mine. And every Sunday I get four papers from the Denver Post, and I get my inserts out, separate my inserts all out, you know, and I tear the pages and I clip them and organize them all out in 3 different sections, and then I'll take them actually and put them in my binder, and my binder is all tabbed out, and I have all the little tabs on there. And you can see on this side I have all my HBA over here. I have my actual store cards on this one, and then over here is all of my foods. So, and I actually have medicine on this side in the back. So, but anyway, that's how I do it. So if you got any questions, please feel free to ask, and happy coupon. I almost forgot, but there's one last tip, or 2 last tips that I want to give you. When you guys are putting them in your binders, a lot of the coupons will be, you know, vertical like this, up and down, where you can actually, you know, see them facing up. And you'll notice a lot of these are facing sideways. One thing you want to do, and try to do anyway, is make them all face one direction, so that when you turn your head and you look at them, you're seeing all of them in the same direction. I learned that the hard way, and I was just kind of putting them in willy-nilly, and anyway, it got to be such a pain having to go back and forth every single time when I got ready to look for the coupons. So I went back through and I changed all of them to facing either vertical or facing to the left. So anyway, that way made it easier, and I got that all the way throughout the book. So anyway, the second tip I want to give is when you guys are doing your couponing, it's a good idea to have some good music while you're doing it. And I got YouTube fired up on the Chris Ledoux channel, and I play Mr. Chris Ledoux. I jam out and listen to that, relax while I'm cutting my coupons. So anyway, like I said before, happy couponing, guys.